down the hammer and pick up the pencil. You're about to listen to the Savvy Radio Show. Learn from real-life real estate investors, experience revealed with the Savvy Landlord as your host.
All right, Savvy investors, I'm glad you came back. You tuned back into the Savvy Radio Show. Yep. This is your boy, Steve VanCauwenbergh, the Savvy Landlord, doing something. I don't know what I'm doing, but I am learning a lot out here. If you don't know me, I started from nothing, from the hood of good all the way up to so many of drama in 18 years. I'm going on 18 years, I think, 1999. So I'm going on 19 years of real estate investing. And I'm telling you today, today I am still learning what not to do, what to do, and keep on grinding harder and harder. So today's episode, because I'm trying to keep it on lock, trying to keep it consistent, keep the questions coming, keep the comments coming, keep the love coming. Right now, I'm on the bottom, but I'm trying to get to the top. My boy, E.T., you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so here's the 8 things that I've just recently learned. Number 1, you need more friends and lawyers. Yep, I know I've already been within the first, I guess it's already been 2 weeks of January 2018, and I've already been in 2 legal battles. Right now, this is one carried over, one was brand new, both out of my control. Both you don't think that ever would happen, but I realize I need friends. The more friends I have, the more people I can reach out to and get a great perspective. That's one thing that I've learned. Of course, it's an obvious one. Number 2, you can't just rely on one friend as an attorney. Yep, I'm serious. Like, this is psycho weird, but I came from the blue collar world. Low self-esteem, didn't think anything, didn't like white collar people. That's what's so funny. If I told you the truth for real, I used to hate rich people. I don't even remember if I talk about it in my book. I wrote my book a long time ago, but it was a struggle. I just thought, rich people were mean. They were better than me. They had money. They had things. I had nothing. I was envious. I was jealous. I was dumb. And I don't know why I just said that, but the truth is you got to have friends, rich friends, and the more friends that you know, the better off you can do it, and opportunities are going to come your way. So even an IT friend, someone that's a master of IT, can make your world better. Even just a simple thing like, what power supply should I apply to this? It's amazing. So, you've got to reach out and ask for help. That's it. So you got to have friends, as many friends as you can. Not friends on Facebook that you got 2,000 friends that are all sexed out. No, I know I keep getting these sexed out friends. I'm like, what's the deal? Like, I look at who are they from, and I just hit delete. That's not a friend. A friend is someone that you can call, and you can pick up where you left off, and you need to invest in that. And I think you need to invest in that in a lawyer. That's what I've learned so far. Number 2, I didn't know this, that I was talking to my insurance agent the other day, and of course I've had this huge claim going down, and maybe I'll do a podcast on that, but you can sell a property with insurance built into it already. What do you mean? So I'm trying to sell my building. If you are looking for an office building, 11,000 square foot office building, it is for sale. I would love to sell it to you. Maybe consider terms. No, I'm just playing. I'm motivated. Come holler at me. Let me know. And you might buy a deal. It is a deal, but I don't need an office space, so it might be a deal for you. And I just sucked my teeth. My wife listened to the podcast the other day. She's like, you make this weird sound. I was like, oh, no, I need to stop that, and I just did it. But what I found out, I learned, is, oh, God, I did that sound again. What the Anyway, you can sell it with insurance. Like, hey, it already comes insurance. And that could be a deal breaker for someone that has had a lot of problems with insurance, and they've had a lot of claims, and they can't necessarily get good insurance or at a good price. It's in a concession. Little technique there. Number 3, ask more questions and listen more. You've got to drop the pride. And that's what I'm learning so far. 2018, I'm telling you, if you listen to the podcast last week about the 5 things I learned in my legal case, what was interesting is I just learned by asking questions and keeping my mouth shut. And I learned great amount of information, so much that I threw it on a podcast. Interesting. Number 4, what I'm trying to do for 2018 is expand my network. Not just my network of friends and wholesalers or flippers I'm talking about expand into other arenas, like different types of banking or different levels of banking, and just meet new people. Try to go to as many networking events as possible. If it's commercial real estate, that might be a great event. If it's just a meetup on Airbnb on a Wednesday, and if you're available, expand your network. Number 4, expand your network. You need to do it big. And you'd be surprised, just like today or the other day, I did a landlord lunch, and I was like, yo, I'm in need of a heat and air person. And, there was a room of 50 people. Bam. I got 3 people that love me and said, here, call these heat and air people. I never even heard of them before. And I wouldn't have gotten that if I did not expand my network and grow. Number 5, get educated like nobody's business. And I'm not talking about going back to school education. I'm talking about for real, like get some courses. I'm involved in a course right now, and it is changing my life. 19 years of real estate experience. Yep, it's pretty cool. I've written 5 books. Yeah, that sounds cool. And I'm telling you, today I'm learning so much by becoming educated. And I bought an online course about education and about in the real estate world. And it's just stuff I already kind of knew, but it just solidifies it even harder. Get educated. Get educated. Like, just get rampant educated. Just get all up on it educated. Can you do it? Can you make it? Can you get educated? Don't just buy a book and leave it on your shelf. Buy the book and go through it. Spend at least 10 minutes a day. Get educated. Number 6. So I'm having some struggles with my own portfolio and my property management. I'm having problems just in a lot of areas. And so I've been kind of semi-retired for about 2 years, hanging out, trying to be savvy somebody. I don't know if that means anything. Still buying cribs on a regular basis, selling cribs more than I normally have in the past, which is very interesting. Learning a lot about taxes and all this other fun jazz. But the interesting thing that I realized just recently, I had a gang of vacancies. And, I'm putting pressure on my general manager to smash the manager. I'm like, hey, what's going on? So then I'm digging deep into this deal. And I'm like, it's hard because when you first started in the game, 18 years ago, I was a property manager and I got the 50 units. I was a property manager and I was running this thing like a top. And then, you get to the financial freedom dream, you check out, you move out. You move out of your mind, you're still involved, but you're really not involved. Oh, VanCauwenbergh, you did it. You live in the dream. Yeah, my dream is slowly declining on management. And so thank goodness, again, this goes back to number 1, friends. I'm like, it felt like a rookie. I called my boy up, yo, I got this crib. It rented in a day. It has never not been vacant. What's going on? And so he's like, did you do a market survey? And I was like, market survey? No, I didn't do no market survey. I know the market, I'm the real estate somebody. He's like, no, so I did. I jumped on Zillow and I did some compare. Maybe I overpriced the market. I used to just, when something's not working, I would just point the finger at myself. What am I doing wrong? Maybe it's overpriced. Maybe it's in the wrong area. Maybe I bought it wrong. What's going on? Right? I attack myself. Well, I started doing some market research. And then I thought, it wasn't because I wasn't putting them on Facebook. Or I thought it wasn't because I wasn't doing videos. So then I was like, I got to do a video. That's my goal. Actually, it is my goal for 2018. Every crib has a video. So I don't know if you've been watching me or whatever. I've been putting them like hot. Like every time a house goes vacant, boom, I'm running over there making a video. So I'm over here at this crib making a video. That's the reason why it's not renting. It's not renting 2 months. So I put some pressure on my GM. I'm like, yo, there's something wrong here. And, Steven, it's the ebb and flow of real estate. I'm like, what do you mean? Sometimes it's real busy. Sometimes it's real, vacancy. And, and I kind of just said, okay, I get it. Go back to the grindstone. So I go back to my world, and then, man, I'm convicted. So I roll over there, do this video, and I call my homie. I'm like, dude. He's like, dude, and I did. I checked out the Zillow, and all the houses are not up to price, up to performance, up to legitimacy as what I'm charging. And so, man, then I realized something's wrong with my property management. So I started digging deep in my property management, where we're going wrong. And I found that the description was jacked up, that the description was said, oh, this is so just ludicrous that you're getting paid as a property manager, for real. When I looked at the description said, tenants move out in July, do not disturb tenants. Now, folks, what month are we in? We in January, right? That copy was written about 4 years ago when I bought the crib. It's been rented since then. The people moved out. Now, if you were a prospective tenant and you saw that, you're like, oh, what's wrong? Like, I'm not going to call back to July. It's not available. And that's exactly what happened. I'm losing thousands of dollars because, A, I'm not watching the ball. B, I'm trying to trust property manager. And C, man, my whole world just blew up just on that. That's why I have been busy lately, as I've been like property manager VanCauwenbergh, back on it every day, every morning, grinding it out. That's why I haven't even had a chance to do a podcast. That's why it's 8:30. I'm already trying to be in bed by now, but I was like, look, I got somebody encouraging me out there. Thank you for giving me love. And that's why I threw this podcast together. I'm like, these are the things that I'm learning on right now. But see, VanCauwenbergh, what's the application? Well, here's the application. So I started researching. I started calling some folks. Hey, what's going on? They got, you talk to the property managers. Oh, I'm 100% occupied. I'm like, man, I'm not doing that well. What's going on? And I talked to somebody else. He ain't doing that well. We're going to find out. Come across Facebook, man. As soon as I put that video on Facebook, within an hour, somebody's inquiring about it on my own Facebook. And I sent them to the property manager. I'm like, hey, check out this property manager. She's going to take care of it. And I found out today, a week later, someone put a deposit down. Now, 2 months I've lost. This is a $700, $800 house. So $1,600, about 2 G's. 2 G's. Don't fall. That's what I've learned. Don't, I don't know what to tell you. But what I did, I'm telling you, I'm learning. Stay on top of the property management. Like they ain't nobody's business. I had to breathe on that one. Sorry. Number 7. Budget, and capital reserves. And it's just fascinating what I've been learning on this real estate course. Man, it's just, I just been learning so much. It's just been, and when you start the game in real estate, you just want to buy cribs. I mean, that's just what you want to do. You want to buy cribs because the more cribs you buy, the more freedom you receive, and I get it. And when you put your head to this grindstone, that's all you want to do. But then I realized, and by the grace, about 4 or 5 years ago, I was robbing Peter to pay Paul, and I didn't understand what was going on. So then I was like, okay, bam, we're going to stop the debt deal. We're going to shut the debt down. So we shut the debt down, got out of the debt world, and now we just on cash flow. But then I realized when you're at a certain specific size, you got to really have a budget. You really have to have, and I have some really good friends in my world, some bankers, and they were just gentle with me. Yo, VanCauwenbergh, you at this size, you need this much in capital reserve. Now, 9 times out of 10, when a banker tells me to do something, I usually get a little worried. Like, why you got to tell me all this information? What's their motive? What are they trying to do? But I realize that it makes complete sense. It may not necessarily help you in your borrowing power, but it does help you with peace of mind and run your business. Set budgets, stick to budgets, have capital reserves, and do it. That was number 7. Now number 8 is just like that. What I realized, and what I realize now, back to the whole budget deal, you've got to walk through all your properties annually once a year. I know I'm adding stuff on. VanCauwenbergh, you said, yo, VC, you're supposed to have freedom. You do, right? But to have freedom, you need to do these certain things. Now, you could probably outsource this because, I love to outsource everything. But you need to go walk through every property and do what? A basic, a capital expenditure, like a budget. Like, where is this property going to be in 3 years from now? Is this going to, is this property, even if the tenant's been in there for 7 years and you don't know when they're going to move out, you need to earmark, at least tell yourself that this property is going to probably need a roof in 4 or 5 years. Or you go in this property and they've been living like rats, and you know that you can time it right. And you know that when these folks that are living like rats, they need to get out, and you could time it when, because you know it's going to cost you $3,000 to get that deal up to snuff, and you can have a general idea of what's going on. Basically, a financial budget for every unit. I know this sounds complicated. It does to me, because I never thought this way. I was just rolling down the road, cashing checks, buying cribs, having a good time, thinking I'm somebody special, and then things can crumble around you, and over time. So that's why people always say, oh, you got so many units, you're doing so good. I'm like, you're making so much money. I'm like, dude, I'm not making any money. Like, it may seem like I'm making money. Now, I roll it all in there, but every month it seemed like I had a heat and air problem. Every month, I mean, I got a $5,000 problem. Every month I got this problem. If I just had some reserves and kind of mastered and budgeted and factored it into my cash flow, life would be a little bit greater. Now, it's not negative or wrong, but I'm just saying this is what I've just learned within a couple of weeks. Anyway, hopefully it made a difference in your life. It made a difference that you text me. Text me, email me, tell me something that you've learned that we can expand on. I got some cool things rolling. I'm studying right now. Revocable trust and living will and trust and asset somebody protection, ASS, your hiney on stuff. So that's rolling out. So if you're interested in that, also working on some IRA stuff. Ooh, the investor weekend is coming. You got to get your tickets. They just went online. I just found out the super duper duper one of my favorites, Bob Dressman out of Ohio, is speaking. He's not selling some book or some course. He's just coming to drop the knowledge of IRAs. He blew my mind yesterday when he said, yo, you can do inherit an IRA. I was like, inherit? I never even heard of that. And then I'm just going to tip it off. I'm so juicy on that one. My boy Al Williamson was blowing me up on the text messages. Yo, why don't you he kind of lead me into this. I was like, what's this good dude doing? But he texted me, do you got an IRA? I'm like, I got an IRA, man. I loaned out of my IRA. What are you talking about? And I replied back, I'm like, what kind of question is that? Like, he's just trying to play with me. He's like, yo, is it self-directed? I'm like, yeah. Why are you bothering me? And he texts me back. He's like, yo, won't you arbitrage Airbnb with your IRA? I was like, oh, that's dirty. That's fresh. Why can't you rent out a property in your IRA? Why can't you set up Airbnb on your way? And then all the revenue from the IRA goes tax deferred, tax free. Get juicy. So if that's something that you want me to talk about, because I can get those two folks, I can connect those two together, and we can have a podcast. Hopefully, you learn enough to go buy assets.
Thanks for listening to the Savvy Radio Show. Glide online and listen to our other motivating episodes at SavvyRadioShow.com. Connect on Twitter at LandlordBook, and always be buying assets.